it's Angie. This is my first sit-down video on this channel. This is so weird. For today's video, I thought I would talk about my experience at Angel's Landing at Zion National Park, which is a national park in Utah. And I have some facts for you if you didn't know what it is. So I grabbed some facts from Google from zion-national-park.com, and Angel's Landing Trail is one of the most famous and thrilling hikes in the national park system. I really did not know much when I went, so I was kind of in it. Crazy day for me. It is 5 miles. You're going to want to go there in the morning or the afternoon, especially when it's like cooler, not so hot. The difficulty is strenuous uphill hike, but hiking is on a well-maintained trail. You're holding onto chains. First thing you're going to want to do is wear comfortable shoes. I wore these shoes. Can you see them? Can you see my shoes? Like Nike running shoes. They were okay, but I would definitely not recommend it. Like, there was many people wearing those like
hiking boots.
Yeah, hiking ankle boots, which you should definitely do. And even though they look kind of funny, you should wear them because my feet hurt really bad. So even though they look funny, you're going to be very comfortable. So even though this sounds dumb, wear hiking in like comfortable shoes, maybe even like longer socks too. So that's one thing. This is Brownie. Okay. Number two. If you are afraid of heights, do not go on this hike. Don't do it. During the entire hike, I was like, what am I doing with my life? Like, what am I doing? Why did I do this? Why am I up here? Like, you definitely really have to be really careful. You're holding on to chains, and people can also hold on to the same chain as you. So you want to be very careful because there's like no barricades or anything. So definitely be very careful. And I definitely don't recommend bringing children, but I had 2 cousins. How old is like 8 years old, and then I think it was like what, 6 years old. Yeah, my 2 cousins did go on it, but my uncle, whatever, one of my cousins, her dad, he put a rope on his belt. So if you want to be a little bit safer and more comfortable, definitely do that. But it's more if you kind of have to fend for yourself. Number 3, there is going to be a lot of people, especially I think if you go in the summertime, because when I went, there's definitely a lot of people, and I went around like 10, 11. You definitely want to go early, especially if the weather, it was very hot. It was like 100. Do you know how
8, I don't know.
It was like, it was over 100 degrees. And especially since it's a 5-mile hike, and you're on another hike, and then you go to another hike, so it's a very long day, and you're gonna want to have a lot of energy. So with number 3, you're gonna be with impatient people. There were people that would get mad, like, oh, let me go first. I'm never gonna go, because people just like go down, and especially since you have to go one at a time, it does take a while to take the hike. I think it's like 5 hours? Yeah, they say it's like about 5 hours. And I got what, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. Yeah, so I think I went at 10 to like 3 is that how long it took me. Number 4, you don't want to bring a lot of stuff with you. Like, honestly, I had my camera that I'm using right now, which is a Canon Rebel T5i, and I had my lens cap. Definitely was not a good idea because my lens cap came off. Since you're like, sometimes you'll have like a small space, or like, because you're stepping on rocks and you don't have like a barrier for you, you really have to be careful. And like, I scratched my camera a little, so you really don't want to bring a lot of stuff, especially since the hike is so like long. You really want to take care of yourself. Maybe like a little backpack with like water and like food. Number 5, I have a little story with this, but take water. I did not bring enough water. The people with me did not bring enough water. You want to have breakfast. I never eat breakfast. You want to eat breakfast. All I had was a waffle in chocolate that day. You really want to have to take some bars with you? Just take a lot of water, even ice packets, whatever, because especially since the weather, it was really hot, you definitely want to bring that stuff in a little backpack with you. If you feel sick, do not go. You don't have like anything, like there's nothing for a long time. So especially if you're you feel like nauseous, you feel like you're gonna have a headache, it's gonna take you a while to get back down, then to the other trail, then back to the shuttle. It's just really be aware of what you're gonna do that day. Story time. So I did hike Angel's Landing. Okay, so that day when I did hike Angel's Landing, there's another trail you go down to. So I had already gone down from there. I was like, you know, I felt fine, but all of a sudden, when I was going like, it was like maybe another 2 miles or something like that, I still had like maybe another 30 minutes to go back down to the shuttle and where everybody was. I started feeling kind of like my hands were getting numb, and I was like, oh, I'll keep going, because I was with my aunt. She's like, if you don't feel good, we can stop. I'm like, no, I want to keep going. So I finally stopped, because I was like, you know what, I've never felt this way before. Like my hands were getting like already right here, it was kind of like getting tingly. So we stopped to like the side, and like all of a sudden my hands just got like super numb, like even my legs too. So I just started to lay down, and she just gave me the little bit of water that she had, and you need to bring lots of water with you. And like I'm like I threw up, and like people saw me, so they stopped. And then like literally all of a sudden I was like, it felt like I was gonna pass out. Like everything was numb. Like my hands were like this. I couldn't open them, my legs. Several people stopped to help me. Thank you to the people who helped me. I don't know if you'll ever watch this video, but thank you. Random people stopped to help me, like even though they didn't understand like English or anything, they literally stopped to help me. They gave me their water, they gave me their food, they gave me ice packs, they gave me like whatever they had to help me, because I literally thought I was gonna die. I seriously thought I was gonna die. So one guy stopped just to see if I was okay, and then like seriously I literally thought I was gonna die. And like I was like, they would ask me like Angie, I was like, yeah. No, well, I didn't talk, but I was like, I would make like head nods to show that I was still like there. But nobody had service around me. We are in the mountains, so service was like very limited to where you were. So the people around me didn't have service, and one guy did stop, and he did have service, and they called 911. After they called 911, they called the park rangers to help me. And when they were talking to him on the phone, they're like, oh, it's gonna be 30 minutes. Since I still had like, I was still on that like trail, it was still gonna be a little while. And especially since they were carrying like a stretcher and all this stuff, it took a while for them to come up. And I felt a little better when people like gave me water and food, but it was really scary, honestly. When the rangers came, that's when I started freaking out even more. So I'm like, oh shoot, they even brought like this stretcher. I've never been on that. Like I was like, oh my god, am I dying? I don't know. When they came, they gave me like 2 little needles. Was it, I think, this finger and this finger. They also put 2 IV fluids. I think that's what they're called. 2 of them, which is I guess a lot, because I found out I was dehydrated. I had a heat stroke. I did not eat that much breakfast. They had already had the same, like, well, on that same trail, they already had to go up there twice to help 2 other people. So I was the 3rd person that day. You definitely want to be very, very, very careful. Have a good breakfast. Drink water. Have a lot of energy. When the rangers did come, they did like stuff to me. They added stuff. They asked me questions like, what did you eat for breakfast? Like all this stuff. They asked me what day it was. Like I was on vacation. Like what day is it, Angie? It's like, I don't know. Was it like, what was it, Tuesday? It was Tuesday. I was fine. I guess that means I'm fine because I knew what day it was, even though I was on vacation. But they asked me that. I did end up having a heat stroke, dehydration. I think that's what was it. I'm gonna just skip all this. When they did, all of a sudden, like, I didn't know if I was actually gonna go on the stretcher or not. I wasn't exactly sure, but I ended up going on the stretcher, and there's like 6 people holding me. They like strapped me onto like 2 things. I still had like the fluid like on me, still like shoved in there. And then as soon as it was a bumpy ride, not gonna lie. Like, even though they were like holding me on the stretcher, I was like this. So yeah, and when I got there, I went in an ambulance and I thought I was gonna go to the hospital. That's when I started crying. I'm like, oh my god, what is wrong with me? I just didn't drink enough water, I didn't eat food, but I am okay now. Just definitely be prepared when you're going on a hike. I really wanted to make this video for other people who are like never been on a hike, or especially that hike, or just especially if you're gonna go in like I guess that conditions, to be very careful and just really be aware and be prepared, because I honestly thought I was gonna die, because like I said, I couldn't even open my hands. They were like this, everything, like my whole body literally just like shut down. I wanted to give a shout out to the park rangers at Zion National Park, the random people who stopped to help me. There's a lady that stayed there until even like they took me down, or when somebody took pictures of me when I was on the stretcher, when the rangers were helping me. I'll definitely add those on the side if anyone wants to see. Also, what I didn't do is watch videos and research. Definitely go check out other people's videos about Angel's Landing to see what it looks like, so you have more of a visual of what it looks like, because I definitely did not film it, which I wish I could have, but it was definitely hard for me to do when I was on the hike. There's a lot of cool videos if you just look up Angel's Landing. A lot of people, I think, mostly filmed on a GoPro, which I wish I could have done, but definitely go watch them, because you'll see exactly how long it is, how it looks, so you can be prepared next time you go on that hike, or if you ever go on the hike or any hike. But definitely go check out other people's videos. So this is my first video on this channel, and I hope you guys like my little story and little facts about going on this hike. But let me know, like, comment down below, tell me what you thought of the video, what you think I should talk about next, anything that's on your mind that I should do on my channel. So also, thank you to anyone who stopped to help me, the rangers at Zion National Park. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to share this video. Bye! Just slip your way. I gave up taking carefree trips to the bay. Cali bound